Back on your favourite local radio station, talking to Dr. Christian Jessen today. He's the man who, gets to see everything on those programmes, and so do we on Embarrassing Bodies. And this is my question. I'm not the first one to ask it, but why? Why would you turn up to see you when there's a camera there to show the rest of the world?
Yeah, if I had £1 for every time someone asked me that, I would be mega wealthy by now. But it's a good question. I think I do sometimes think that as I'm filming it as well. I'm thinking, are you sure you want to be doing this? But I'm very grateful that people do, because it's given me this incredible TV show. A lot of them just have very, very altruistic reasons for doing it. They say things like, I have been suffering away with this for 10 years and I've realised that is ludicrous. I'm going to get it sorted, and at the same time, I'm going to help other people who might be worrying away at home, hiding away. I'm going to help them realise that, they can come out and talk about it too, and it's fine. So they really, they do it for very honourable reasons. They don't get paid for coming onto the show. I think a lot of people think we pay the patients and things, but we don't. It's purely their own choice.
It is extraordinary, isn't it, what people will reveal in the public domain?
Is it the lure of television, or is it... one thing that a lot of people say is they feel comfortable with us. They've been watching us now for sort of 2-3 years, and they feel like they know us. It's that funny thing about your favourite soap stars. You feel that you're best friends. You know all about their lives. And I think some people say, oh, well, I don't really know my GP. I wouldn't be comfortable, but I know you, and I'd come and tell you. So, who knows? Is telly, or is that sort of part of medicine, is it going to change things for us? Is it going to change the way medicine's practiced? Who knows?
How many boring bits do you have to see in taping that show before you get to someone with something really exciting?
Oh, we don't. We only see exciting stuff, because obviously we only put the exciting things through. So, we're very selective about what we put on.
Do you know what amazes me is how the human body changes through life, and how you can go through stuff and recover, and the fact that you can have boils under your arm 10 foot deep and you won't go to a doctor. It amazes me that people put up with stuff.
It amazes me too, I have to say. I know what the treatments are, so I suppose I'm even more amazed, because I know it can be sorted out. But yeah, to be fair, it's not always, and we tend not to cover this in the show because it's slightly dodgy territory, but it's not always that they haven't come forward. Some of them have been to see their GPs, and their GP has been so useless or unhelpful or unsympathetic that it's put them off forevermore, and they'll never go back, which I think is a shameful thing, actually. And I'm always ranting on about GPs who can't communicate and things, because it's the key. You don't need to be a great brain to be a doctor. You don't need to know every single weird, wonderful condition, but you do have to be able to communicate to your patients.
What you alluded to earlier, that doctors don't have enough time, is proven in your programme, that actually if you're given the right amount of resources, time and money to get to the bottom of something, most things can be sorted, or at least got to quickly. Most
things can be, and often, as you just said, where you just want an answer, and where there isn't, say, a treatment or a cure, if someone just sits you down and goes, yeah, we know all about this is what it is, don't worry, there's nothing we can do, but over time it tends to improve, that often is enough for people. They don't need miracle cures necessarily. They just want some sympathy, actually. A hug and a cup of tea will do nicely.
Let me stand up, because I want to show you this. Hang on a minute. What do you think about that?
It's quite small, isn't it?
It's not so great, is it, really? Is there anything that can be done for that?
I'd rub a bit of ointment on that. Looks a bit sore. Thank God this is radio.
The thing about you, though, as a doctor that always amazes me is it can be life and death, and the responsibility to get to the bottom of something would keep me awake at night. Do you lose sleep over that? Do you worry about it? Because, of course, if you make the wrong choice or don't get somebody to someone else quick enough, it is life and death.
Yes, it is. I suppose because it's just your job, it's what you've been doing for so long. I don't ever suppose it becomes normal, but you get used to that sort of thing. Golly, and let's not over-egg it here. What I do is very different, say, from what someone, an A&E accident and emergency doctor does, who it really is. Whatever, you don't know what's coming in next, and they could be absolutely at death's door, and you've got to resuscitate them. I don't do that sort of proper, good, sensible medicine at all.
No, but equally, if you miss the lump and bump that somebody comes in with that could turn into cancer, they could be gone before they even get to A&E.
Well, it's true, but it is your job, isn't it? You could argue that a mechanic could just not quite do the brakes properly, and that could result in a fatal accident. So everybody has certain responsibilities with their job, but yes, I suppose the implications for ours are slightly greater.
I'm just checking my contract. I don't have any responsibilities whatsoever for this job. I just talk nonsense on the radio.
You can say whatever you like. But one slip and you can upset a lot of people, can't you? You know that. So
there is that.
Done.
I think we already have earlier. Hey, listen, I'm going through my notes. It doesn't say anything about you talking to me because you love me. There must be a reason for you coming on.
Oh, of course. I wouldn't do anything for free, would I?
Who can blame you?
Oh, quite.
Especially on this show.
Man, you know. Well, Dr. C has been hard at work and he's written a book. And actually, it's based on a lot of the things that you've asked me. Is that because I'm a doctor on the telly, before all this telly business, I could lie about what it is that I do. So I could go to a dinner party and I could say, I'm a hairdresser, and that would shut them up. You wouldn't get any more questions. If you announce at that dinner party that you're a doctor, from that point on, you are the centre of attention and you get inundated with questions. People either decide to tell you their long, complicated surgical history about every operation that they've ever had, as if you'd be interested.
Silver tops do that a lot, don't they? I've seen them around doctors.
Oh, they do. Oh,
and then he had me hip done, and then
on and on and on, and you really don't want to hear because you're off duty. But anyway, as a result of that, and I've written this book, and it's called "Can I Just Ask?" because that's usually the first thing that everybody says to me is they stop me in the street and they go, "Oh, can I just ask you?" But it isn't your boring kind of which blood pressure pill is best or which antibiotic should I take for which infection. This is all the sort of weird, wonderful things that people would really actually quite like to know, but they'd be far too embarrassed to ask. Like, why do we yawn? Why do we have eyebrows? Why can't I tickle myself? Is there really such thing as truth serum?
Why can't I tickle myself?
Why can't you tickle yourself? Well, you've got to get the book and find out.
Let me try now. Let's see.
It just doesn't work, does it? I'm really ticklish,
happening.
but I can't tickle myself.
Not even a flinch.
Nothing. It's bizarre, isn't it? So why, if someone else pokes me in the ribs, is it excruciating, and me doesn't work? So, what about all those medical myths? Like, tell me about detox. Should I detox in January? No carbs after 8. All of that stuff.
Don't get me started on carbs. I don't have carbs before 8, let alone after 8.
I could do with some carbs right now. Actually, I'm starving. But copper bracelets for rheumatism, magnet therapy, homeopathy, all those sorts of things. What is the truth? What is really the true answer behind those? I decided I'm going to put it all together in a book, and that's what it's about.
Very good. Always nice to talk to you. Thank you for coming on, Doctor. And very finally, you being you, I'm a deeply unattractive man, as you're well aware. Can you pull being Dr. Christian off the telly?
I'm sort of happily married, so I'm not supposed to.
Well, let's not worry about that. Let's not look at the technicalities. I mean, because, it's got to be some bonus as to wasting your time talking to people like me on the wireless all the time, isn't it?
I'm sure. I don't know what the answer to that is. I don't know what to say. Let's just say I haven't tested it out yet, shall we? Is that the right answer?
She's a very lucky woman, let's just say that. Really nice to talk to you as always. Dr. Christian Jessen, his new book is out now, and of course, Embarrassing Bodies is going to be back on again and again. They love to repeat that, and I love to watch it. Even if I've seen it before and I know what's coming, I still want to see it. I love that programme, and thank you very much for coming on the show today.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.